This is a video accounting, a demonstration of the Cheese Corp Stealth Board. It is a HeroClix game accessory sold by a company called Cheese Corp Magic, Novelty, and Game-Related Amenities. It is a chain of game-related accessory conveying retail outlets of another dimension. This may be the only one in this universe. This shall now demonstrate a use of this accessory. This game shall be a 1E1 between Shatari War Leader and Hulk. Hulk at 87 points. And Shatari War Leader at 80 points. This map, or map emulating material, is a prop, and the Cheese Stealth Board will be used. The Cheese Corp Stealth Board shall be used to determine line of fire and distance. Every square on the Cheese Corp Stealth Board corresponds to the square of a map. The red squares are elevated terrain. The blue squares are cover terrain, or that you can have a +1 to your defense if you occupy them. The yellow striped squares, such as here and here, are the master squares for the zones that this shall explain during the game. Blocking terrain are squares such as this and this, with the pegs that are extending from them that are open, and the squares with the red tips on them are squares that would not close, and there is a small black curtain to conceal. Of the topic of concealing, each of the squares has a lid to conceal, which is part of the pretext of arriving at this board, was to play a game where you could not see the opponent, where an isosocpic view does not mean you know where the opponent is at all times. When playing a game, each character will have a color-coded peg. In this case, Shatari War Leader will have the yellow peg, and Hulk will use the blue peg. At the beginning of the game, each of them will choose a location on the board. Any square that is not occupied by blocking terrain, unless you are a super-dimensional or uber triad Hur character, such as Shadow King, for instance. For this game has 4 dimensions. It has 3 dimensions. The ability to fly or move in the 3rd dimension will be represented by these blue sky, water, ocean, parted from the realm of Poseidon by attenuated solar light which shines from the heavens of the jealous sky god, bequeathing an ocean for the heavens. Sort of Greek firefly, translucent dye here. This is something that players would keep track of and keep near their characters as the game ensues. The 4th dimension is something we shall explain at another time. At the beginning of the game, each character shall choose its starting square. Shatari War Leader will choose this square. It's a good ability to example. Open that and put that in there. Close it. Now Shatari War Leader is occupying that square, which would be the equivalent of occupying is next to this one. That seems about it for Shatari War Leader. Shatari War Leader. Now where is Hulk? Hulk is going to pick a square. Hulk will choose to be in this linen closet. This is where all the good stuff is. I'll put you right in there. No, like this square, closer to he's hiding in the corner. God, technology. But this is what these kind of tests are for. That goes in there. And because he's in this zone, the linen closet zone, they get their own zone peg. Gets his own zone peg. He's the blue peg. Shatari War Leader. Take me to our leader. Shatari War Leader's character peg is now in this square. Yes. In addition to the character peg being in the square that would represent which square on the board a character occupies, there is also such a thing as a master square. As you can see, there are many squares on this board, and for the opposing character to have to look through every one of them, for this is a corridor. These squares, these black squares, represent this long hall here, and there's open space. You'd have to check all of them. Thus, as a convenience, it has been included the master squares. The way that the master squares work is that if you are in an area where you can, they tend to be areas of 5 or more squares, where if you are in any one of those squares, you can see all of the other squares. They have there's a yellow striped, or in this case, all yellow, being that it's not a square on the board. This is the only one such as that on this particular configuration of the Jesus stealth board that is all yellow and is not a square on the board. However, it is the master square for this corridor here. As a result, you would put pegs also in that. One for you. He could be seen by anyone in this corridor. Because he's also in this row, he can be seen by anyone in this zone, which is these 5 squares as well as this whole zone that would be seen here. But if you're doing this, you don't need to do that one. I'm going to put one there. Both teams shall now roll for initiative. I have Shatari War Leader Bangladori. I'm at an outer protection. I found the number 6. Message brought to you by the number 6. You got 6, and the hiding where all the phenylphenethylamine, rosewood, incandescent electromagnetic radiation, approaching diagramless electrochemical bond snap, power emitting from some reddish, fiery plasma, non-Newtonian fluid. No, there's another word for it. Alkaline metal. Yes. Rolled gold guns. That's a 6. Again, they need to re-roll. Vaguely Egyptian extraplanetary force with strange amount of defense for an 80-point character is rolling again. 6. It's the third 6. But can Hulk in that broom closet find something to inhale that will not knock him unconscious, but that will keep him on his game? That is 8. Hulk will be going first.